Hey guys! Hey everybody, it's me, Zach. This is my girl, Judy. She's got a scratch. And welcome back to our channel. So today we're gonna catch back up with the Slayton sisters on 1,000 Pound Sisters, the hit TLC drama. Or maybe it's a dramedy, or maybe it's just a comedy. I don't know. It's reality TV and y'all know I live for that. So it has been a while since I posted a video on my channel, so if you're new here, you had no idea. And if you're not new here, I apologize. I was sick like this whole past week and it like knocked me out. I was super fatigued. I didn't go to work one day. It was just a lot. So I've just been trying to recover and thankfully I'm feeling 100% again. I feel good. I feel confident. She's got the energy. But I did watch a whole lot of YouTube while I was away. I watched all of The Circle on Netflix, which if you haven't watched that show, do it. And two, if you'd be interested in me giving my like final wrap-up thoughts about that show, I'd be happy to do it. And yeah, so I've just been sick, resting, getting myself healthy for y'all, so I apologize, but thank you all for being so understanding and patient as always. I feel like I'm saying that a lot lately. She's busy. She's a busy girl. So, with that being said, I want to get into talking about the most recent episode, episode 3 of 1,000 Pound Sisters. When we left off with the Slayton sisters, they were leaving the doctor's office. They were leaving Atlanta and they were in the van and they were fighting and Tammy girl had lost it. She couldn't have it. She couldn't take it. And Michael and Amy, they said bye. And they just parked the car and got out and left her to sit alone and cry in that car. And so we resume episode 3 with them coming back to the car and revisiting her. So part of the thing that comes up from them being in the car together is they basically really acknowledge that like they don't really talk about their feelings, and this is gonna just like continue to be a theme, I think, about the way that they interact with each other. And something I've already said is that they just like they don't know anything about nutrition or health because nobody ever taught them about nutrition and health. Like they also don't know about communication. Like nobody taught them or demonstrated for them or role modeled for them like appropriate and healthy communication. And so I think that that's really gonna be the like big struggle for both of them working together, and is seen throughout this episode as like we move forward. So before they officially leave Atlanta, they have one more night at the hotel, and Amy and Tammy say, y'all, we've got to start this working out now. We got to start getting healthy now. And what do? They go to the hotel pool to swim, and listen, we stan. Was I ready for them to do this already? Was I particularly ready for the shot of Michael pushing Tammy in the hallway? Probably not, but I do stan them getting to work A1 day 1 from what the doctor said. Now, do they all get to work? Do they all get to work? Certainly not. Certainly not, because Miss Tammy, she's ready to go. She's excited to go. And then she gets there and there's 3, maybe 4 steps between where she's at and getting to the pool. And she says, y'all, I can't do it. I can't even do it a little bit. Not even a smidge. And so she says, to the hell with it. I'll sit off to the side and watch Amy and Michael swim together. And honestly, I'm like, you really want to sit there and watch them? Because they were hooping and hollering and doing all sorts of stuff in that pool together. And I'm just like, this sounds like the gorillas that you didn't want to hear. But now they're doing all this in front of you in the pool, and there's a lot of touching and splashing, and I was just like, Tammy, you getting a show. You're getting a show, and I don't know if you paid for it. You might want to ask for a refund if you did. But Amy and Michael looked like they were having a blast. When Amy got into that into that pool, she said, I feel like I'm birthing a baby. And I was just like, is that, you're who? You're what? Listen, I have never birthed a child. I never will birth a child. I will probably just never have a child in general. But I imagine that stepping into a pool is not like what it feels like to be birthing a child. I don't know, y'all mamas that follow me, you correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, okay? Because if there's one thing y'all are good for, it's correcting me on the facts of this 1,000 Pound Sister show. So if I'm wrong, and if getting into a pool does make one feel like they're birthing a baby, let me know. All in all, I am glad that Amy got into the pool. She said that it really felt good. It helped alleviate a lot of like the pain in her back while she was also being active. And I say, like, go off, sis, do more. We love to see it. With that being said, I did feel sad, at least at this point in the episode, for Tammy. I don't know if I remained sad for her the whole episode, but I did feel bad for her because she did feel limited. She did want to be a part of what was going on. And I do understand this like concept of feeling left out, like she can't participate because she's unable, like physically unable to do that. And so at this point in the episode, I'm feeling sad at this point. So ultimately they have their fun in the pool, and they get back into the car, and y'all know I live for these car fights, and they're in there, they're fighting, they're not talking about shit because this is how they're communicating with each other. They say, forget dealing with our feelings, we're just not gonna address them, and we're just gonna keep moving on. And so they're driving, Michael's driving, he's got that goofy looking face on, and y'all, he slams on the brakes, and Tammy goes flying. She's like, like right here. She's right here. She's right here in the camera. And y'all, I would be lying if I said that my heart didn't skip some beats. Some beats, because I thought, oh my God, Tammy, she probably broke something, bruised something. She might be bleeding. I'm worried. Because she's sitting back there. They had already made a joke prior in the episode about her not having a seatbelt on, or maybe it came after. Either way, she's sitting back there, nothing. She's got that beanbag chair thing behind her. The luggage is propping her up. And I'm just like, oh Lord. Oh, this poor woman. You know, they all just start laughing and giggling, which those are some of my favorite points. There's two parts of the relationship these people have that I love. I love when they are just giggling over the dumbest shit, and I love when they're fighting over the dumbest shit. I love both of those sides of them. You know, they're complex humans, they have complex layers. And so they just all start laughing. They start laughing their asses off that Michael almost killed them all. And by all of them, I mean particularly Tammy. And Tammy does say, like, y'all, I am in pain, but that was funny. And I'm just like, wow, of all the things for you to just laugh off, like, you get mad about some really stupid stuff frequently, and you're not gonna get mad that Michael almost killed you, you're just gonna laugh it off. So listen, I'm not mad about it, but I am worried about Michael as a driver. Like, what is you doing? Because in the last episode, if y'all remember, he also almost like hit some traffic and lanes that was next to him, and I'm just like, Michael, what is going on, sir? But he also is the only one that can drive them, because I think Amy said she can't drive because of her vision, and I'm sure Tammy can't drive. So it's just like, I guess Michael's it. You're putting your faith in his hands. I do think that the car situation and them just laughing it off is again indicative of how they like handled their problems, or they're just like, well, laugh it off, keep on moving. And I'm just like, y'all are gonna have to actually address some of this stuff with each other if you really want to move forward and being productive and helpful and things like that. Like, sitting here and just like burying like all the stuff you're upset about doesn't get you anywhere. It just allows things to fester. So at some point, if they want to continue being successful or want to be successful, period, because at this point in the show, I don't think they've been successful, because it's literally like the day after they went to the doctor for the first time. But like, if they want to be successful, they're gonna have to appropriately deal with how they're feeling about things. So they finally make it back home and the Slayton kitchen purge begins. Tammy makes a statement about how like purging all of the food is like losing your best friend, and Amy's literally sitting right next to her as she says this. And it just says a lot. It says a lot. It says, one, like, that Tammy puts food over Amy. I mean, I think that she was joking kind of, but also not really. Like, I think it's clear that Tammy values food and what food can provide her in terms of, like, comfort and support over Amy. And especially in the way that she treats Amy, you can see that food comes before Amy. Always. But it is also sad because it's like, it kind of takes me back to when Tammy said in a previous episode that like, she has to have online friends because she doesn't have any friends in real life. And it's just like, Tammy, I want so much more for you, and I just want you to want more for you. You know what I'm saying? Like, it is not clear that she actually wants more than just the food in her life, you know? So they're throwing all this stuff away, and I'm like, I hope y'all are donating at least some of this stuff, because some of it was like non-perishable things, and I'm sure some Kentucky food bank, homeless shelter. I mean, if there's a homeless shelter somewhere nearby Amberlynn, then I'm sure there's one somewhere that will take this food, or there's probably some kind of families in need. I'm sure there's some kind of food bank somewhere that they could give some of this stuff to. But I'm gonna guess that they didn't, because they were just throwing everything all in one bag, including that big chunk of beef roll that they call Big Daddy. I'm pretty sure that they threw it all in the same bag, so I'm guessing if that like just pure raw ground beef was thrown into a bag with all that other like boxed pasta and canned food and stuff, I'm sure they're not going to take that at a food bank anymore. But Lord, I just really hope like people could use that food, you know, people that don't have food addictions, food problems. With all that being said, I do think the right thing to do is to throw it all away. Like, I do think that if you're starting a food journey, a diet journey, a weight loss journey, that like you gotta get rid of the distractions. They have to be out. So I think that was smart. I just wish that they would have probably donated some of it. They also show that they keep some sodies, which shows up later that they say, Amy says it's for Michael, but it's clear that they both have a diet soda addiction. Tammy even has one later in the show, but she gets mad at Amy for keeping it because she thinks Amy's just keeping it for Michael as a cover-up, but she's really keeping it for herself. But it's like, girl, Tammy, you clearly want some of the diet sodies as well. And I also think it's weird that they say that they're doing all this purging, but then later in the show also, when they're doing like these like video diary vlogs, Tammy says she's messed up and eaten things like ice cream and stuff. So it's like, if you're gonna purge it, why did you just go and buy other stuff to replace it? You know what I'm saying? So Tammy predicts after they get done purging that Amy and Michael will probably cheat on stuff because they can leave the house and go get stuff Tammy can't. And I think that is probably just like a load of hooey, because I'm sure if Tammy really wants something, she will be able to yell and whine enough to get it, as she demonstrates later when she says that she's cheated and had some temptations around her. So it's really like everybody's enabling everybody, honestly, truly. But Amy is the one ultimately who does have to do all the grocery shopping because Tammy can't leave, Tammy can't walk a whole lot, so she relies on Amy to go do the grocery shopping. Amy goes to do the grocery shopping. The funniest part of the grocery shopping is Amy's like, I don't really know what I'm doing, and she's just like, it's clear she's just picking up vegetables. I don't really know what her plan is with each of these individual vegetables. It's mostly just looks like she's like, I know that I'm supposed to eat vegetables, so let me pick some up. And she at one point says, I'm gonna get me a head of lettuce. She picks it up, and then they got the producer off stage that's like, sis, ma'am, that's a cabbage. And then Amy says, oh, and then she picks up a head of lettuce. I don't know why I thought that was so funny, but I cackled for some time after that little scene happened. So Amy does finish buying some groceries. She also gets some protein shakes. That's all we really see her buy, and she literally leaves the store with all of 2 bags. And I'm like, y'all really want me to believe that 600-pound Tammy, 400-pound Amy, and however many pounds Michael are gonna live off of these 2 grocery bags? Like, I usually leave, just for me, a 230-ish pound man, leave the grocery store at 2, maybe 3 bags every week. So I'm like, what are y'all gonna eat? I'm not convinced there's enough food there for y'all. I'm just being honest. Like, even if you're eating healthy, you're gonna need probably more than what you got there to sustain yourselves. So then they prep us for this like protein shake challenge thing that Amy and Tammy are going to put on their channel. And by their channel, I mean Amy's channel. She literally just posted that video like a week or 2 ago. It seems to be the case that like they're posting a video like a week before the episode comes out that reflects something that ends up happening, because I saw that get posted like probably a week or 2 ago, and I was like, oh, this is coming up because we've seen this in the trailer for the show. But leading up to that, they show a bunch of different like taste tests that Amy and Tammy have done on their channel before, and I'm just like so curious about the editing, like as though the people at TLC don't know that I know everything that has ever been posted on their channel. And so they show a clip of Amy eating this like turkey sandwich that had M&Ms on it. I distinctly remember she posted this, and she posted this after the meet and greet, right? So this isn't some old video that they posted, and they marketed this particular taste test as weird and unhealthy. So they're like literally showing a video that she posted after she was already supposed to be on this weight loss challenge, and she's doing it now. And I'm just like, first of all, this sandwich is gross because it's a turkey sandwich with M&Ms on it. But 2, you're showing that she was like not eating healthy. I mean, y'all didn't say that in your episode, but I know, and Amy and Tammy know. So I'm just like, what's the tea, girl? So they show this whole challenge, and the messiest part of it all is that Amy goes to take a drink, Tammy makes her laugh, she spits the drink out and at the same time farts. So we love our classy ladies. I will always stand these very classy moments. Thank you, Amy and Tammy. So the next major thing that happens is that Amy goes to the gym, and she has previously posted some of these clips of her at the gym, and I love that she was in the gym. I love that she was brave enough to go and meet with a trainer to help her out. It was cute. We love to see it. But then shady ass TLC splits in at the same time. So they're showing some clips of her with the trainer. She's on a bike, she's lifting some weights, she's on the treadmill. And then shady ass TLC says, at the same time, we're also gonna show you some clips of Tammy at home because Amy made a point to say that Tammy didn't even want to give the gym a try. She absolutely said she wouldn't be able to do it. So Tammy's sitting at home, and she's in this little computer chair, swivel chair, and she's like, I don't have to go to the gym because, you know, I'm trying to do more, I'm trying to be more active. I'm cleaning, and that's more movement than I normally do. And then they show her all shadily, swirling in her chair. And I'm just like, TLC, you gotta chill. Because, I mean, the reality is that really probably any kind of significant movement, like the kind of movement she needs to be doing? No. But is it probably more movement than she normally does? Probably, yeah. I mean, I would agree with that to some extent. I just feel like TLC is definitely trying to make it clear that this story is about Amy working really hard and Tammy not working hard at all. I mean, I think we can all agree that's probably somewhat true based on what we've seen from their videos on our own. I mean, even from like the videos they've recently posted, you can kind of tell and see that Amy's hard work has clearly paid off, and that Tammy's less hard work is not paying off as much, maybe if at all. By the end of the workout though, Amy's trainer like sings her praises, says how much she appreciates how hard Amy worked, considering it was Amy's first time ever being in a gym like that. Amy was like, I don't know if I'm gonna do this again, we'll see. So I'm curious if they'll show Amy working out more in the future, or if that's it. Is that all we're gonna get? So I previously alluded to these video diaries that they showed of Amy and Tammy. I'm not sure if all of these videos were actually things that are uploaded. It's hard to say. They seem to be kind of like the videos I probably would have maybe put on the background but not have paid a whole lot of attention to, because it just seemed to kind of be them rambling about how well they were doing or not doing on their journeys. Again, it was a juxtaposition to show like Amy's working towards this goal of wanting to have a baby. She needs to lose weight, so she's working really hard on that. And Tammy's over here saying like, I've been kind of working hard, but I've also been tempted by temptations. And it was also showing a little bit of like Amy saying, you know, Tammy doesn't do enough, like she isn't trying. And then some clips of Tammy saying, well, Amy is bringing in all this bad food that I can't have, and it's tempting, and Amy's not helping me enough, and Amy doesn't understand me, yada, yada, yada. You know, so it's this tale as old as time, this story, this Beauty and the Beast story we've been dealing with this whole show. And really, as long as we've known Amy and Tammy, even online, Tammy has always kind of been like, everybody else is to blame. I'm trying my hardest, but y'all just don't understand what I'm going through kind of a gig. So, you know, I'm kind of seeing through some of that, because it's like, Tammy girl, you got to take some kind of level of accountability and responsibility for where you're at, because, you know, at the end of the day, it's not Amy's responsibility to help you lose weight, but she's trying. She's trying to help you out, girl, but you're not taking the bait. So then one thing that like was quite the little like scene and interaction was Amy getting a Just Dance game so that Tammy could try to be more active. Like most things that Amy has tried to introduce in terms of activity for Tammy was like, tried 2 seconds of it and said, nope, I can't do this. Which is like, I don't know, whatever, like, you couldn't even sit there in your chair and try to do it for I don't know. It's just, it was clear that like by the end of this episode, I was losing the level of sympathy that I have for Tammy. Now, don't get me wrong, I think that she is still a sweet person. And again, I don't think she's ever been taught how to communicate well. But it is, I can see why people would be frustrated, because she gives up so quickly. It's like, maybe Mama Slayton was right to be skeptical that you wouldn't stick through something. Now, I do think Amy, at least from what we've seen, is sticking through with stuff. But it's like clear, like at 4 different points in this episode, that Tammy doesn't even want to try. And it's so frustrating, because I think so many people would understand even if like she tried and failed, right? And I think she's just so afraid of failing that she doesn't try. Like she doesn't want to like try to go down the steps at the pool, for instance, because she's afraid that she won't be able to do it. But like, we don't even get to see if she could, because she doesn't even try. The best part about that whole scene is that Michael's mind is blown by Amy's dancing. And I'm just like, oh, okay, sis. I mean, to each their own. I'm not gonna yuck your yum, girl. If that is blowing your mind, let it be blown. So then they have a little brief montage of Tammy eating some Weight Watchers chips, which if y'all haven't seen me try those Weight Watchers chips, you should go do that. I did that in a video one time. And she's like, oh, I can eat these chips, they're healthy. And I'm like, girl, what is you doing? I'm positive Taylor, the dietitian, did not say that you should be eating those. So either way, Tammy talks a lot about how like it's hard not to think about food because she's always stuck in her house and she doesn't get to leave often. So once again, Amy, being a very kind and caring sister, says, well, let me schedule this opportunity for us to go get some mani-pedis. They get there. For whatever reason, there's some steps leading up to the place where they give the pedicures. And it's like 3 whole little baby tiny steps. and our girl Tammy says, nope, I can't do it. I won't do it. Which, whatever, again, like, I wish you would just try, but you weren't even willing to try. They even had rails there, railing to help you get up. Girl, it's whatever. But the ladies at this nail salon say, no problem. I'm gonna bring out this little Rubbermaid tote, this little purple Rubbermaid tote, and we will give you a pedicure in here. Which, like, child... her feet were like squished in there and her leg was bleeding. It looked like a whole janky mess, but I appreciate that the people at the nail salon said, listen, we're gonna try to make it work for you. And y'all, these women at the nail salon, they were truly the MVPs of this episode. If I had an award, if I had a trophy to give, it would go to them because y'all, this is a warning right now. Speed up like 10 seconds if you don't want to see it. But Amy's foot crust. Y'all, I am somebody who enjoys actually watching a woman called the Meticulous Manicurist here on YouTube. I enjoy watching her give pedicures to people, which is probably like a weird overshare on my part. But seeing Amy's foot crust, y'all, it was on a whole other level that I wasn't ready for. And she's like, I can't wear socks. I hate wearing shoes. And she's so, I'm so proud of those women for taking care of her feet, helping her out. And you know, we didn't really see what Tammy had going on, so bless them for that too. But Amy's foot crust alone was enough. So before they leave the nail salon, they're already bickering and having a fight here in public after these nice women just took care of their cruddy feet. And Amy says something along the lines of like, I can't wait till you move out into your own apartment, which y'all, we all know if you follow them, Tammy does live alone now. So she did move out of the Slayton Halterman abode. But I'm just like, they can't stop bickering even after this like lovely moment they just had with these nail salon people. Like, are you kidding me? And then it just proceeds on to the final scene of the whole episode where they are bickering and fighting again. The gist of their argument is that Amy's just like frustrated because she literally sits down and Tammy's like, well, can you get up and get me this, and this? And I think all Amy's really trying to say, which is reasonable, I don't know that she says it the nicest, but all she's really trying to say is like, hey, could you just ask me before I sit down because I just got done doing these 12 other things, girl, and now you want me to get back up again and get you a sody? Which, by the way, Tammy has a sody during this whole argument. And Tammy's just like, you don't understand, you don't get me, blah, 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 blah. So during this whole argument, Tammy has the audacity to tell Amy to lose the attitude, and certainly Amy has some level of an attitude, but nowhere near the level of attitude that Tammy has. I'm like, girl, you need to get a grip. You need to check yourself before you wreck yourself because, sis, you are being so rude to your sister who is simply trying to give you some feedback. And like, granted, does Amy take some jabs? Does Amy say like, you need to get off this walker? Yeah, but like, y'all, also the tea is that literally just today on Instagram, Tammy made a post where you can clearly see that her walker is still in her life. So it's like, girl, what are you doing? And let's be clear that the episode you're seeing right now was filmed like back in May and June of 2019. So this isn't current, right? This isn't something y'all are watching live as it happens. Like, sis has not gotten rid of her walker still. It's still there. So it's just like, yeah, maybe Amy is giving you some jabs about it, but it's because she knows that she can't sit here and take care of your ass forever, girl. Like, get it together, Tammy. You are sitting here acting so rude to the one person who is getting you food, who is housing you, who is taking care of you. And I just, like, by the end of this episode, have had it. Like, I'm somebody, I've said multiple times, I do talk to Tammy in DMs. But her, like, behavior in this episode was too much for me. I'm like, you do not get to bite the hand that literally feeds you, girl. You need Amy and Michael to take care of you. And if you didn't, you wouldn't be living with them. You know, at one point, Tammy's like, you need to grow up, Amy. And Amy's like, I am grown. And Tammy's like, well, I am too. And, like, I just, like, don't get it. Like, Tammy, no, you actually are behaving like a child. Like, you truly are behaving like an actual child. Amy's not actually your mother. It is not Amy's responsibility, like I've already said in this video, it's not Amy's responsibility to make sure you lose weight, to take care of yourself, etc. She's doing it because she loves you. You're her sister. She cares about you. She wants you to be healthy. She wants you to be mobile. And you ain't doing shit. You're not doing shit to get to that goal. Except be mean to Amy. Like, you literally can't see anything outside of yourself. You keep saying over and over and over again, Amy doesn't understand what it's like to be me. She doesn't get it. She doesn't know what my life is like. And it's like, she sits here and witnesses you living your life every day. She's living with you. She sees what you're going through, right? And she also probably has her own mobility issues because of her weight. So she might not understand exactly what's going on, Tammy, but she gets it. She's not dumb. Tammy essentially just, like, doesn't want to take any accountability. And she even goes as far to say that, like, she thinks that Amy has been more of a bitch since marrying Michael, because allegedly she only takes care of Michael now, which gives her less time to take care of Tammy. And it's like, girl, that's her husband. If she wants to help take care of him. Also, Michael's the only one in the house that's, like, working at a real job every day. He's also providing you a place to live. So, like, if Amy is tending to her man, then good for her. Like, it's not all about you all the time. And Tammy also goes on to say, like, the jabs from Amy are not helping. Amy pushing her to exercise is not helping. Amy pushing her to not use the walker isn't helping. And I'm just like, maybe instead of talking about all these things that aren't helping Tammy, why don't you tell Amy some constructive things that are gonna help you? Because at this point, I'm at a loss. It seems like anything that Amy tries to do upsets you or frustrates you, right? And like, you need to chill. So all that to say, the episode ends on that explosive fight, and all I'm thinking is, like, y'all need counseling, y'all need to go talk to a therapist, y'all need to learn how to communicate with each other, because I genuinely think that they both actually really do care about one another, but they don't know how to show that. They don't know how to engage in conflict. You can have conflict with people and still deeply care about them, right? Like, I've had conflict with lots of people in my life that I deeply care about, and because at some point somewhere in my life I learned about how to communicate in times of conflict. Like, I have made it through things with people that I love and care about. We've made it through conflict, and we're still here. We're still friendly with each other, and we did it all without, like, biting each other's heads off. So luckily, it looks like in the previews for the next episode, the girls are gonna go talk to a therapist, which we love to see, and that looks like they're also going to be making a trip back to Atlanta to see Dr. Hottie. So I'm really looking forward to seeing if they're successful. I have a feeling, my predictions are that Tammy is probably not successful, Amy probably is. I'm sure that's gonna lead to some more butting of heads. So we'll see what happens. It also looks like in the next episode we might see Amy and Michael kicking Tammy out. So I'm curious to see what happens. I'm excited to hear what your thoughts about the show are down below. Please let me know. That's all I got for this episode. So please make sure to subscribe if you're new. I'll leave a playlist to all of my Slayton Sister videos I've ever made before down below. And hit like, leave me some comments, follow me on all of my social media, and I'll see you all next time. Bye!